Shamrock Rovers are the most successful club in Irish football. They have won a whopping 21 League of Ireland titles and 25 FIA Cups. As well as this, they were the first ever Irish side to win a game in the Champions League qualifying stages, and they also became the first Irish side to ever make the Europa League group stage. So I personally think that Shamrock Rovers need a new challenge. So today we are taking Shamrock Rovers out of the Irish League and placing them into the EFL League 2. We are going to battle our way through the English divisions, get into the Premier League with the end goal of winning Shamrock Rovers a Champions League trophy. Now, if you do enjoy the video, boys, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it really does help me out. We are on the push for 3,000 subscribers. Let's head over to FC24 and get Shamrock Rovers rebuilt. So this is the Shamrock Rovers team we have loaded into, and this team should absolutely be getting promoted from League 2 this season. However, I'm not really a big fan of the 5 at the back formation, so we are going to be changing it. We've had a play around with the formation, and we have decided on a 4-3-3 attack formation, as I think this gets the best out of our current bunch of players. And our front three is absolutely frightening for League 2 football, with 69 rated Bryn out on the right, 67 rated Buck out on the left, and Kenny through the middle. I think we're going to score a lot of goals this season. Now, kicking off season 1, we've got a £2 million transfer budget, and the primary target we have got to bring to Shamrock is a right back, as we currently don't have a single right back on the books at the club. And if we have any funds remaining after bringing in a right back, I want to make Johnny Kenny's loan from Celtic a permanent deal. As he's 20-year-old and 63 rated, I think he would be one to watch in this rebuild. Now, I think the tactical vision does pick itself. Our wingers are by far our best players, so we are going with the wing play tactical vision for this rebuild. And we have shifted some teams around. For example, Stockport and Wrexham have been promoted to League 1, and we have relegated sides like Carlisle and Cheltenham. And we have also swapped Shamrock Rovers with Forest Green, as they got relegated to the National League. So we have made League 2 exactly how it would be at the start of the 24-25 season, only Forest Green are swapped for Shamrock. So our first signing of the Shamrock Rovers rebuild is completed, and we have brought in James Abankwah from Udinese. The 19-year-old Irishman joins us on a 2-year loan deal with an optional future fee of 600 grand. He's 58 rated, pretty decent stats. He is a centre back, but we are going to convert his position to a right back, as he can play there, and he has actually got pretty decent potential in FC24. And for our second order of business of season 1, we are going to make Johnny Kenny's loan deal a permanent one. We have agreed a £900,000 fee with Celtic, and we are now going to complete the deal. And Johnny Kenny has joined the club for 900 grand and on a 5-year contract. Now, after the signing of Kenny, we are still left with 900 grand in the bank. And looking at our team, I think our goalkeeper Pauls is very, very poor. 60 rated, 26 years old. We can definitely do better. So our primary focus as of right now is to bring in a new goalkeeper. And we have made a very good signing in the goalkeeper position, as we have brought in Carl Hein from Arsenal on a 1-year loan. He's 21 years old, 64 rated, and at the end of his loan we can sign him for £1 million, which I think is a bit of a steal, but I think it'll be completely dependent on if we can get promoted to League 1, if he'll actually join us though. Now, Hein's wages were very, very big, meaning we only have 229k in the bank, and that is probably going to be our transfer window finished. And before we progress on any further, we have found an absolute gem in our youth academy. Logan Maxwell, a 17-year-old Scottish centre attacking midfielder with anywhere from 70 to 94 potential. He's 62 rated, and he will go straight into our starting 11. So after the loan signing of Hein, we won't be bringing any more players through the door in this transfer window, but there have been quite a few outgoings. Starting off, Corey O'Sullivan has joined Cork City for 100 grand. Sian Barrett has joined Drogheda United for 250 grand. Richie Towell has joined CD Mirandez for 270 grand. Leon Pauls has joined Stockport County for 270 grand. We have loaned out an academy graduate, Malik Lehi, to Hyderabad FC. Cian Dillon has joined Drogheda United for the season on loan. Conan Noonan has joined Wrexham on loan for the season. Lee Grace has joined Pice Gilwise, I think that's how it's pronounced, for 420 grand. Dylan Watts has joined AC Ajaccio for 530 grand. John O'Sullivan has joined Sutton United on loan for the season. Sean Huare has joined CD Eldense for 430 grand. And Sean Kavanagh has joined Cracovia for £310,000. So that's our transfer window finished. There's nothing left to do but simulate forward straight through to the end of season 1, and hopefully we have been promoted to League 1 at the first time of asking. So we've arrived at the end of season 1, and it is mission accomplished, boys, as we have won the League 2 title on 95 points, winning 28 of our 46 games. and in season 2 we are playing League One football. And in FC 24, I don't actually think there's that big of a gap in quality between League One and League Two, so there's a very good chance we could go back to back and get promoted straight to the Championship. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the cup competitions because we did get knocked out in the first round of every single one of them, but on the run up to the end of the season we did have quite a bit of money sitting in the bank, so we have decided to bring in a centre back from Reading who will join us on the 1st of July in season 2, and that man is Tyler Bindon. He is absolutely quality, 19 years old, 68 rated, got really good stats, and we have only paid £1.2 million for him, and like I said, he will join us at the start of season 2. But back to the team, and this is the Shamrock Rovers team that has won us promotion to League One, and it is actually looking pretty strong on paper. Farugia, Maxwell and Kenny all grew really nicely, all bordering on 70 rated. Hine had a good season as well, going to 68 rated, and we will be making him a permanent signing for £1 million at the start of season 2. So I think we're going to have a pretty small budget going into season 2. We will probably have to rely on loans once again, but if we can make a permanent signing, I would like to bring in a central midfielder because McAneff will be going back to his parent club as he's only on loan. So in terms of stats, Johnny Kenny was outstanding, getting 24 goals and 6 assists in 51 games. Graham Burke and Jack Bryan had amazing seasons. Burke got 16 goals and 10 assists. Bryan got 15 and 8, and I want to point out, look at how well Logan Maxwell performed in his first season as a pro player. 14 goals, 12 assists straight from our academy. I am made up with how the team performed this season. So let's now get into season 2, get some players through the door, and we can build a squad capable of getting promoted from League One. We have arrived in season 2, boys, and we have got a £5 million transfer budget. However, the first order of business of season 2 is to make Karl Hine's loan a permanent deal, and it will cost us £1 million. And Karl Hine is in just £1 million for a 68 rated 22-year-old goalkeeper. I think that's a very good deal. So our first couple of signings of season 2 are actually some very interesting signings. We have picked up a free agent, a Mario Kozia-Doubre, on a 5-year contract. He is 63 rated, 19 years old. He is a left winger with decent stats, and this signing does have some significance on our starting 11, and I will go through that shortly. We have made our first loan signing of the season in Joseph Nonge from Juventus. He looks incredible, 19-year-old, 68 rated on a 1-year loan, and at the end of the season we'll have the option to make this signing permanent for £3 million. So I think we would have to get promoted to the Championship if we want to make Nonge a permanent signing at Shamrock Rovers. And I've also brought in Jesse Ost on a 1-year contract. I have no other goalkeepers other than Hine at the club, and he is literally just to be back up all season. Now, you may notice that Graham Burke, who's one of our best players on paper, is actually running out of contract, and he's 30 years old. Now, I've brought a Mario Kozia-Doubre in to replace Burke, and we have actually accepted a bid from another team that would see Burke leaving the club. So we've got a pretty significant overall difference between Kozia and Burke. 5 overall difference, but I'm very confident if Kozia-Doubre has a good season, he could finish the season around or even higher rated than Graham Burke. So after bringing in Kozia-Doubre, Nonge and Bindon, this is how the team is currently looking. It looks really strong on paper, I cannot lie. Seeing out the rest of the window, I would like to bring in one more centre-back to replace Cleary and a central midfielder to replace McAneff. And we do actually have £4 million left in the bank as we have made some player sales. Cian Dillon has left the club to Newport County for 220 grand. Lee Stacey has joined Barrow for 130 grand. We have loaned out youth team goalkeeper Donnell Hart to Northampton. Aaron Green has joined Leyton Orient for 90 grand, and another young goalkeeper, Toms Lites, has joined Atalanta United for the season. So we've just been discussing how I want to bring in a new centre-back in this window, and this gem, Joseph White, has just appeared in our youth academy. 18 years old, he's 61 rated, already going twice in season 2, and you know what? I'm actually going to put him in the team as starting first choice centre-back, as he has got excellent potential, and he is the perfect partner for Tyler Bindon. And we have also made a loan signing in the central midfield position, and this is a pretty interesting one. We have brought in Hamza Akman from Galatasaray of all teams on a 2-season loan. He's 61 rated, 19 years old, got pretty decent stats despite such a low rating, and we can sign him permanently in 2 seasons time for 800 grand. I do think this is a really risk-free pickup. He's young, got good potential, and we can sign him for dirt cheap in 2 years time. And a little bit of an update on outgoings, we've had 3 more players leave the club. Youth academy graduate Sam Novak has joined North East United on loan. John O'Sullivan has joined Grimsby Town for 145 grand. And we have cashed in on Graham Burke, who moves to Bristol City in the division above for £1 million. And boys, we have made one hell of a signing with our remaining transfer budget. We have brought in Jasper Asprilla from Watford. He's a 20-year-old right winger, 73 rated, got insane stats, showing great potential as well. And we have got him for £4 million plus Jack Bryn. And I'm hoping Jasper Asprilla will stick with us now right till the end of the rebuild and be our first choice right winger. I genuinely cannot believe how good of a signing that is. Jasper Asprilla to Shamrock Rovers. 20-year-old, 73 rated player for £4 million plus Jack Bryn. That is outstanding business. And he's our first 70 rated player of the rebuild. And that leaves us with 591k in the bank, meaning there's going to be no more incomings in this window. So this will be the Shamrock Rovers team that takes us into season 2. And have I weakened the squad a bit by bringing more young players in? Definitely. But I'm very confident players like White, Ackman and Kozia Dubre will definitely grow quite a lot this season and all be close to 70 rated by the end of the season. And Asprilla just speaks for itself. What a signing that is. So our transfer window is now complete, boys. We're going to be doing nothing more other than loaning out youth players, which I will do off camera. We are now simulating forward straight through to the end of season 2, and I'm really hoping we can go back to back and get promoted to the championship at the first time of asking. So we've arrived at the end of season 2, and we have achieved our goal of back-to-back promotions and winning back-to-back league titles along the way, as we have won League 1 on 91 points. 6 clear of Plymouth Argyle in second place, scoring 102 goals on the journey. And we are going to be playing championship football in season 3. And we actually had a really good run in the FA Cup this time. We got to the 5th round, but unfortunately Burnley beat us 2-1. So this will be the Shamrock Rovers team to take us into season 3. And Asprilla has grown to 77 rated. He will probably be one of the best players in the championship next season on paper. We've also had excellent growth from players like Nonge, Maxwell, Kozia Dubre and Bindon. So the squad is looking very strong now. Ackman and White are the clear weak links at 66 rated. I am more than happy though to give them more time to develop, as they're growing really nicely on paper. And you may notice that James Abankwah is not at right back and someone else is there. Now we have got scouts all over the UK trying to find us players to bring to Shamrock Rovers, and we found Nicholas Cross. Has potential to be special. 66 rated, 17-year-old. We have instantly offered him a 5-year contract and instantly thrown him straight into our starting 11. So this probably means that James Abankwah's loan deal will not be made permanent in season 3. But one player whose loan deal will definitely be getting made permanent is Joseph Nonge. We have to pay 3 million for him. I don't mind. I just hope we've got a really sizable budget in season 3. Otherwise, a lot of our budget will be gone on this signing. Now, in terms of stats, Johnny Kenny was outstanding, getting 35 goals and 14 assists, and Amario Kozia Dubre, who we brought in to replace Graham Buck, who was an established first team player, was outstanding. 19 goals and 6 assists and grew by 6 overalls, only 19 still. I'm really excited about the future for this guy. So that's season 2 in the history books. Let's now get into season 3, our first in the championship. I don't think we're going to be runners for promotion next season, but I would be very, very happy if we finished top half or lower mid-table. I'd be very, very happy with that. So we've arrived in season 3, boys, and we only have £6 million in the bank. So after signing Nonge, we're a little bit snookered. But there's absolutely no way we don't permanently sign Nonge. He's 74 rated, got a market value of 8 million. We are definitely making him a permanent resident at Shamrock Rovers. And Joseph Nonge is now officially ours. And that only leaves us with £2 million in the bank, and we do have another issue on the card. Jasper Asprilla would only accept a 2-year deal last season, meaning he is running out of contract at the end of this current season. We have to somehow agree a new contract with him, meaning we're probably going to have to sell a few players and use that money to extend Asprilla's contract, so there might not be any more incomings at all in this window, boys. And boys, we have managed to agree a new deal with Asprilla, and he would only accept 40 grand a week. But I do think he's worth the money. He's by far our best player, is our best asset. I do not want to lose this man on a free transfer, so we're going to have to sell a few players, and hopefully we can bring at least one player through the door in this window, because we only have 900k in the bank. Now, boys, we have got some really good news. We've managed to win our pre-season tournament, giving us 1.275 million in the bank. This is a massive help because I've got a brilliant signing lined up. And And in order to make this signing, we have had to sell Novak, Hart and Noonan, two of them youth players who would never have kicked a ball for us, and Noonan was not good enough, accumulating around 800 grand in the process. And lads, I have made an absolutely insane loan signing with an optional future fee. We have brought Irishman Festi Ebosele to Shamrock Rovers on a 1-year loan, and we can sign him at the end of this loan for just £4 million, which I think personally is an outstanding deal. Our business model at the minute, given the tight finances, is loan a player in for a season, develop them, sign them on the cheap, and I think that is the best way to get Shamrock Rovers promoted from the Championship. Now, you're probably thinking, Scott, you've already got a potential to be special right back. We've actually changed Cross's position to a left back, and Ebosele will fill in at right back, and we are currently undergoing the process of changing Ebosele from a right wing back to a right back. Now, after winning the pre-season tournament, selling some players and bringing Ebosele in on loan, we do actually have £3 million in the bank. But boys, if I'm being completely honest, I don't think we're going to bring a player in with £3 million, considering we have to save some money for bringing youth players, new coaches, renew contracts as well. So this will be the team that takes us into season 3. It's very strong. I fully expect Ackman and White and Cross all to reach 70 rated this season, and I genuinely think we've got a mid-table Championship side on paper, so that is what I want to achieve this season. So that's our transfer window done. We're now simulating forward straight through to the end of the season, and I will be over the moon with a mid-table finish. So we've arrived at the end of season 3, and lads, we have actually snuck into the Championship playoffs, achieving a 5th place finish this season on 82 points. And that now means we will take on Luton Town in the playoff semi-final, and we have actually got a chance of making it 3 consecutive promotions on the spin. And in the Championship playoff semi-final, we beat Luton 4-2 over 2 legs. Blackburn Rovers beat Norwich on penalties 3-2. Now this means we will take on Blackburn Rovers at Wembley Stadium for a chance to play in the Premier League, and I'm a little bit nervous, I can't lie, boys. I don't think we've ever got 3 consecutive promotions before. And now we officially have, beat Blackburn 4-1 in the Championship playoff final. We are heading to the Premier League with Shamrock Rovers. Now in the FA Cup, we got to the 5th round where Arsenal smashed us 4-1. And now it is time to check the squad that has got us into the Premier League. And I have to say, boys, our right side is extremely strong, with Bindon 78 rated, Ebosele 78 rated, Nunge 79 rated, Asprilla 82. That is a very, very strong right side of the pitch, and all them players are very young and could very much grow to 85 rated or above. Now, our left side isn't quite as strong, but all the players there are very young and still developing, and our wonder kid Cross has reached 73 rated, and I'm hoping he can continue to grow as the seasons progress. Now, getting into the Premier League, I think we're going to definitely need a new goalkeeper to replace Hein. He will just not cut it in the Premier League, and I am actually looking to sign an Irishman in season 4 who is absolutely insane in this year's game, and I just hope we have the transfer funds to bring him in. Now, in terms of stats, Jasper Asprilla was our best player, getting 23 goals and 5 assists in 53 games. Kenny had a good season, getting 16 and 6, and Maxwell got 14 and 16. No one really scored loads of goals this season, but the goals were nicely spread out across our squad. And we have made one very quick sale, boys. Daniel Cleary has joined Grenoble Foot for 620 grand. So now it's time to get into season 4 and try to survive in the Premier League. So we've arrived in season 4, and boys, we've only got 36 million in the bank, which is really going to hinder us this season. And that mystery Irish player who I wanted to bring to the club, I no longer can, as we just cannot afford him. However, 2 players we can most definitely afford are Ebosele and Ackman, as we have got optional future fees already agreed with their parent clubs. Ebosele will join the club for 4 million, and Ackman will join the club for 800 grand. That is some stellar business. Let's get them both brought in right now. And Ackman is officially ours for the next 5 seasons. And Ebosele also commits his future to Shamrock for 5 seasons. And with them loans converted to permanents, we're left with 29 million. Now, boys, with funds being so tight this season, it is going to be really hard to get some quality into the team without spending all of our budget at once. So I have had a little dabble onto the free agents list, and I have found an extremely quality player in Amadou Haidara. He's 83 rated, 28-year-old. His stats are insane. Boys, I would be an absolute fool to not bring him to Shamrock Rovers in this window. And wow, what a truly massive signing this is for us. Haidara now plays for Shamrock Rovers. And with Haidara knowing the team, we're looking much stronger already. We've swapped Nonge over to the left-hand side as he actually is left-footed, and it does add a little bit more quality to our left side. But now our main focus is bringing a goalkeeper to the club. So as we know, boys, we desperately need a new goalkeeper in this window, and we have identified an Irishman in Gavin Bazunu, currently playing for Southampton. He's 24 years old, 80 rated, got really good stats, a proper Premier League level goalkeeper. But this is going to be a pricey deal, as we're going to have to pay an upwards of 26.5 million. Hopefully we can bring that price down and bring Bazunu to Shamrock Rovers. £20 million later and Bazunu is in. And unfortunately we are only left with 4 million in the bank, so I'm not too sure if we're going to make any more signings in this window. So our transfer window is now done in terms of incomings, but there has been a few outgoings to bring you up to date with. Neil Faraghiya has joined Parma for 1.4 million, and that's very interesting because we may or may not be rebuilding Parma very soon. We also sent 2 youth academy players out on loan, and then we cashed in on Kyle Hine, who we sold to Luton Town for 3.5 million, leaving us with £7 million to renew player contracts, bring in youth players and bring in coaches. That is our transfer window officially done. It's time to simulate forward to the end of season 4, and I'm just hoping we have stayed up in the Premier League, because that would be an amazing achievement. So we've arrived at the end of season 4, boys, and we have comfortably stayed in the Premier League on 47 points, finishing in 11th place, and I would call that an extremely successful first season in the Premier League. And lads, you have got to be joking me. We have actually beaten Manchester United 4-1 in the FA Cup final, bringing in our first bit of silverware of the rebuild. And lads, we are actually playing in the Europa League next season with Shamrock Rovers, and that should give us a really nice boost to our transfer budget. So this is how the team is looking at the end of season 4, and it is really now starting to take shape with Bazunu, Bindon, Haidara, Nyonge, Kozia Dubre, Asprilla all looking really strong. However, I really do think it's time to bring in a star striker in season 5, and I think you know who I've got in mind. I just hope we can afford him. So in terms of stats, Asprilla and Kozia Dubre could not be separated this season. They both scored 20 goals and got 4 assists. Kenny had a decent season, scoring 16. Haidara had a great first season with us, getting 15 goals, and Maxwell once again chipped in with a plenty of contribution from midfield. So that's a highly successful season 4 boxed off. It's now time to get into season 5 and prepare our squad for the Europa League. So we've arrived in season 5, boys, and all my plans have been completely ruined as we've only got £30 million in the bank. I don't even know how we're going to improve the team with this money. So I am absolutely gutted that we can't bring this man, Evan Ferguson, to the club in this window, but I will definitely have him at some point in this rebuild. However, in the meantime, we've turned our eye to the free agents list, and we have brought in an insane replacement for Kenny in Afonso Cardoso. He's 19 years old and 80 rated, worth 23 million, showing great potential, looks like an amazing pickup, and he will fill in as striker for us until we can afford Ferguson, and then he will drop into the attacking midfield role. Now, after signing Cardoso, we do still have 29 million in the bank, and I'm thinking, boys, I'm going to bring in a centre-back to replace White, because if I'm going to improve anywhere in this starting 11, it's definitely the defence. Now, initially, I did want to sign Nathan Collins, but Salzburg will just not sell him because it's too important to him. So instead, we are going to go in for Jake O'Brien, a 26-year-old Irish centre-back, 80 rated, got pretty decent stats. He's 6'6", so a physical specimen, and we can actually afford him as he falls into our price range, with Leon expecting a maximum of 23.9 million, and Jake O'Brien is in for 19.6 million, leaving us with 7 million in the bank. And in all honesty, that's probably our transfer window done in terms of incomings. And we kick off our season with a narrow penalties loss in the Community Shield to Chelsea. It looked like a very good game, and it's our future star wonder kid Cross who missed the decisive penalty. So we have arrived at the end of the transfer window, and to be honest with you, there's not been a single major outgoing in this window, only loan and youth players out, and our Europa League group has been drawn, and we have got OGC Nice, Royal Union St Gilloise and Hajj Split. It is quite a difficult group in terms of the Europa League, but I do think we've got more than enough firepower to get through this group. We are now simulating straight forward to the end of season 5, and let's see how we got on in the Europa League. So in season 4, but we did win the FA Cup. In Season 5, we have qualified for the Champions League, finishing in 4th position in the Premier League, and the UCL is coming to Shamrock Rovers. And you know what this means? We're going to get a nice big budget for Season 6. Now, we couldn't retain our FA Cup title, unfortunately. We got knocked out by Liverpool on penalties in the quarter-final. And in the Europa League, we comfortably topped our group, but unfortunately, we then lost to eventual winners Juventus 5-4 over 2 legs. We have definitely given a really good account of ourselves in the Europa League. And boys, this team is starting to look absolutely insane on paper. Every single player now above 80 rated, with Asprilla and Ozia Dubry being by far our best players, 87 and 86 rated. Now, going into Season 6, I definitely want to bring Evan Ferguson to the club and drop Cardoso down to a central attacking midfielder. After we've made that signing, we'll reassess our budget and see if we've got enough to sign anyone else. I'm actually just hoping and praying we've got enough to sign Ferguson in Season 6. And Cardoso, what a signing this guy has turned out to be. 37 goals and 9 assists in 55 games. Haidara as well from midfield. That is insane. 28 goals for a central midfield player. He has been one of the best pickups of any rebuild we've done in FC24. So that is Season 5 boxed off. We're now heading to Season 6 with a primary goal of bringing Evan Ferguson to the football club and having a real good go in the Champions League. So we have arrived in Season 6 and we have got £90 million in the bank, and we are going straight in for our primary target, Evan Ferguson. Just look at how good this guy is. 23-year-old, 85 rated. However, it's going to use up pretty much all of our transfer budget to bring him over to Shamrock Rovers, but I do not care. We are bringing him into the football club without question. And we have finally got our man. Evan Ferguson is in for 68 million. And in this transfer window, boys, we are also going back for a former target in Nathan Collins. He has now moved to Leeds United and they are willing to sell him. He's 82 rated, 27-year-old. Leeds are driving a hard bargain as they want up to 34 million for him, but I'm tempted to use money and O'Brien as part of this deal. And we have got our man Nathan Collins is in for Jake O'Brien plus 7 million. Now, after the signings of Ferguson and Collins, we are left with 18 million in the bank. However, with 18 million pounds, we are definitely not bringing anyone in who can actually get into this team, which is looking majestic, by the way. And we are absolutely ready for the Champions League by looking at this team. And I'm actually really excited to see how we get on in Season 6. So our transfer window is done, boys. There's been no further incomings in this window, and our Champions League group has actually been drawn, and we've got a very difficult group. We have got Athletic Club, Wolfsburg and Sporting Lisbon. It's going to be a massive challenge to even get through this group, but I do believe that our group of players are definitely strong enough. Let's now simulate forward straight through to the end of Season 6 and see how we got on in the Champions League. So we've arrived at the end of Season 6 and the progression is continuing on the pitch as we have finished 3rd in the Premier League, and we was only 1 point off winning the Premier League as Liverpool narrowly beat us and Manchester City to the title. The progression we're making on the pitch is staggering, and we have built a real quality team here at Shamrock Rovers. Now, in the FA Cup, it was once again quarter-final penalty heartbreak as Arsenal beat us 5-3 on penalties. And in the Champions League, we bottled a lead at home in the semi-final to Real Madrid, who beat us 3-0, meaning they progress on to play Borussia Dortmund in the final. We need to get the signings right in the next transfer window, and maybe we can get to that final. And boys, just look at how strong that team is on paper. We now have a 90 rated player in Asprilla out on the right wing, Haidara and Kozia Dubry at 88 rated, Cardozo, Cross and Ferguson all 86 rated. This team is absolutely insane on paper. However, I do think we're gonna have to bring in a new right back to replace Ebosele, as he is just not growing anymore, boys. And if we have any leftover money, Bindon has been such a good servant getting us to a Champions League level side, but I do think it's time to bring in a real world-class centre-back. Now, in terms of stats, wow, there was actually no standout goal scorer this season, which for me is very surprising considering we did score 70 goals in the Premier League. So a very progressive season on the pitch once again. Let's now get into season 7 and start aiming towards getting to a Champions League final. So we have arrived in season 7 and we have got a whopping £134 million in the bank. And I've had a bit of a change of heart, boys. I really don't want to get rid of Festi Obasele. He's an Irishman. I want to keep as many Irishmen as I can in our starting 11. So we're going to use this entire £134 million to bring in a replacement for Bindon at centre-back. So a world-class centre-back is the aim to bring to Shamrock Rovers in this window. And lads, we have identified one of the best centre-backs on the planet as he is in our price range. Matthijs de Ligt of Manchester City. They finished 1 point ahead of us last season, so why not steal one of their best players? He's at 29 years old, full of experience, 89 rated. His stats and play styles are stacked, but it's going to use pretty much all of our budget as Manchester City may ask for up to 110 million. And £90 million later, we have brought de Ligt to Shamrock Rovers, and we are left with just 34 million in the bank. So our transfer window is officially finished, boys. We've once again had actually no outgoings other than youth players going out on loan, and our Champions League group has been drawn. We have once again got Sporting Lisbon, but this time we have got Basel and Marseille. This is going to be a really difficult group once again, but I think we're by far the strongest team in this group. Let's now simulate forward straight through to the end of season 7 and see how we got on. So we've arrived at the end of season 7, boys, and we have won the Premier League on goal difference, and just look at how tight it was. We finished on 79 points, the same as Manchester City. We both won 24, drew 7, lost 7. We both even scored 69 goals. This is where it gets interesting. We conceded 2 less goals to beat them to the Premier League title. And just bear in mind, boys, we signed Matthijs de Ligt from Man City, and he was probably the difference in what won us the title. So that has got to be one of the best signings we've made in FC24 so far. And we had a really poor run in the FA Cup. We were knocked out in a 4th round replay by Burnley 3-1. But this most certainly does make up for it. We are in the Champions League final, and we are going to be taking on Marseille, who were actually in our group. Now in the group stage, we come second in our group. Marseille won the group, which is very interesting. In the round of 16, we actually knocked out Real Madrid 5-3 over 2 legs. That is absolutely massive. And oh my god, in the quarter-final, we obliterated Inter Milan 8-3 over 2 legs, 6-1 in the second leg. We would then go on to beat RB Leipzig 3-1, actually coming from a goal behind in the second leg to set up a final with Olympique de Marseille. And this is the Shamrock Rovers team that has got us to a Champions League final, and it is looking absolutely insane. De Ligt was clearly the difference this season, 90 rated, and actually helped us win the Premier League. You may notice though that Cardoso is poor sharpness and poor morale. He has been injured for 6 months. Now in terms of stats, this is well more like it from Evan Ferguson. He scored 37 goals in 51 games. That is insane. And Cardoso, despite being injured all season, got 20 goals in 27 games. That's an amazing return. And now all that's left to do is go to the Civitas Metropolitano to take on Marseille. So here we go, boys. A bit of an unlikely Champions League final. Shamrock Rovers versus Marseille. But let's get the job done. Marseille do have some really good players like Boniface, Hozlek, Coop Miners. It's not going to be an easy game at all. The foot never. Oh my god, he's been done. Hozlek. Oh no. Good block. Oh my god, Boniface. It's literally 5 minutes in and we're giving away chances like that. That's no good. Let's get this ball cleared. Whipped in. de Ligt's got to win that. He doesn't, but Bazunu is there to collect. Wow, poor start to be honest, boys. Haidara, that's a really good little layoff to cross. Our academy graduate is in the box. Crosses a dig, and it's a great save by Tenas. Brilla or Ferguson. Ferguson! What a save. Are you joking? What a save that was by Tenas. Cardoso. What a ball. Ferguson's in. It's got to be. He smashed it into the roof of the net. Evan Ferguson makes it 1-0 to Shamrock Rovers. And that all comes from Cardoso's amazing through ball. It's brilliant pace by Ferguson. Look at this, by the way. Absolutely levered into the top of the net. And that is how much we have missed Cardoso being injured all season. 1 minute of added time at the end of the half, boys. Pretty poor start, but after that, I think we've been really in control. That's half time, boys. 1-0 to the good. Evan Ferguson's goal, the difference. We just need to see this game out now. This Marseille team, I have to say, it's not really built up of like world-class players. They've just built like a really strong, well-rounded squad and got to a final. We've probably played harder games, getting to the final. Oh, Kozia Dubre. This is amazing. Let's have a dig. Oh, what a goal by Kazuya Tubre. Oh my God, what a goal. And that is a goal worthy of winning any Champions League final. He carries the ball from inside his own half, and look at this shot. Oh my God, right into the side net, and this is never being saved. And the man we brought in season 2 at 63 rated as a free agent scores in the Champions League final. Shamrock Rovers, but it's not over yet. Oh, that's a bad tackle off the ball. I'm talking too much. I'm getting carried away. It's a good tackle by Cross. De Ligt. It's Collins. He's definitely getting booked. And we just need to keep Marseille out here. Whipped in. Flicked on. Oh no. And we just need to keep Marseille out here. Oh dear. Marseille are back in this game. Probably just took our foot off the gas a little bit too much. And it's a really good header, boys. That's an outstanding header. No chance for Bazunu. And boys, since we conceded, we haven't really given any chances away, should I say. He's going to blow the whistle. He's blown the whistle, boys. And listen to this. Listen to this. Shamrock Rovers are the Champions League winners. So all that's left to do, boys, is watch Haidara lift the trophy for Shamrock Rovers. And Shamrock Rovers are the best team in Europe. And that's another rebuild successfully boxed off. So I just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video, boys. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, as it does really help me out. We're getting pretty close now to 3,000 subscribers. And I will see you next week when we head over Italy to rebuild a team from the Italian leagues.